especially here in Zimbabwe, it's called Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act, Chapter 26.05. It was created to promote and protect artistic works. What this act does is it gives what we call exclusive rights to the right holders, composers, creators of music, producers, publishers. And all these rights are mentioned in Section 17 of the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act. And when you guys create music, you create for the public consumption. The public has to consume your content. When you talk about the public, you are talking about broadcasters, the general public who buy your music either online, digital platform, or that play music on national televisions, even on our entertainment venues. So when you create these works, you are doing it for commercial purpose. You are not doing it for free. You have invested your money, you have invested your intellectual property into it. So you must get remuneration. You must get money out of it. Sisonke koi koi. So we create so that we benefit economically. And the users also have got an obligation to pay. If it's a bar, they must pay when they consume your work. If it's a church like this one, part of the church should go to the artist if the church uses music that belongs to the one of the congregation, individual who may have composed music in there. So, when you guys create music, we've got a legal framework there, we've got users or consumers there. Without ZIMURA, it is difficult for you guys to follow, monitor, negotiate for the licenses. You need to know wherever your music is being played. You need to negotiate for the licenses, and a distribution needs to be done. So that's the reason why ZIMURA exists. It exists to connect that gap between the owner of music, in this case it's you, and the user of music. It brings in convenience. So you continuously create your content, and ZIMURA does the negotiation, collect royalties, and distribute royalties to you. It is also difficult even for the user to then get permission from each and every right holder, locally, regionally, even internationally. Negotiate for the licenses for the use of your works. So they do that via ZIMURA. This is clear. Right. All this, what we are talking about, it is called collective management. We are not managing rights of a single artist or single right holder, but we are managing your rights collectively as a group, locally, regionally, internationally. So if you hear an organization that is called a CMO, Collective Management Organization, like Zimbabwe Music Rights, it means it works in the best interest of the right holder. It serves the interest of its members. And this is what we do as Zimbabwe Music Rights Association. And this is done through negotiation of licenses. We identify Mr. Matiza there, is the head of licensing. He's got inspectors right around the country. They monitor where music is being played. They make sure that those guys are licensed. And when we get money, we deduct our 30% to cover our admin expenses. The rest, we distribute to the right holders. And we also act as an advocacy. ZIMURA, the organization, we engage the ministry if the Copyright Act needs to be reviewed. We know the interests of our artists, of our members. We know exactly where areas in the Copyright Act need to be improved or reviewed, and then we propose those to the ministry, and then amendments are done. So those are our objectives as an organization. I spoke about copyright negotiation licenses. We do monitoring. We do distribution of royalties after collecting monies from the users. We also represent you guys legally in the courts of laws as witnesses in case your music has been used without your authority, either by another artist, any organization, or an individual. We have got a dispute resolution committee within the ZIMURA. If at all your works has been used by other member artists, we try to bring you together and then try and reach an amicable solution, and then we move forward. But if all fails, we can then say we can proceed taking the legal route. So that is our legal framework that we use as an organization. The Berne Convention, this is the mother instrument that then gave birth to the Copyright Enabling Rights Act in Zimbabwe. This is a convention which was reached in 1886 for the protection of artistic works. And then we've got what we call the Rome Convention. This is again another tool that is used to protect the interests of the related right owners. We are talking about the dancers, the performers, the keyboardists, the drummers. They've got rights also. And the provisions from the Berne Convention and Rome Convention are then ratified or put together in our local legislation called Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act. This is why it is called Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act, meaning that the Rome Convention certain parts of it that protects and promotes the interests of these artists were then put in our local statute called Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act. Now, this is our structure as an organization. You need to understand this. We fall under Ministry of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. And then below our ministry, we've got what we call the General Assembly, which is the membership countrywide. Everyone who is a member of ZIMURA falls under that class called General Assembly. Below that, we've got the Board of Directors. I hope the chairman is going to share with you the list of the board members. And below the board, we've got the secretariat. These are people who work in the office and being led and headed by our executive director, Ms. Police Lectore Chibini. So those are the functions I spoke about. We negotiate licenses, we collect royalties, and then we distribute. Simple. Moving on to the departments within ZIMURA, we've got what we call Membership Documentation and Distribution Department, headed by Roslyn Chirume, who is at the registration desk out there. This is what this department does. It does registration of members' works, information, personal information, like your phone numbers, your address, etc. It does the capturing of data from the music users, does the calculation of royalties, distribution. It also attends to member queries. We've got the licensing department headed by Mr. Matiza. They do public premise inspections, license negotiations, collection of license fees, and issuing of those licenses. We've got the finance and administration department. It does the financial planning, recording and control, secretarial duties, human resources management, statutes compliance, procurement, and general maintenance of our premises. IT department does the maintenance of computer hardware and software, system support, administration of websites and business emails. It conducts research on information and technology systems to improve how the organization is supposed to improve its services to our workers. PR department. This is a department that deals with the public. It communicates relevant information to the public. And our stakeholders also, it manages our social media handles, and it improves and promotes the brand ZIMURA visibility. Now, these are the rights that we manage. When you register with the Zimbabwe Music Rights Association, what you are doing is you are simply extending your rights to ZIMURA for easy administration and collection and distribution of royalties. So we've got what we call public performance rights. This includes broadcasting, background music in bars, shops, etc. We've got what we call cable diffusion. This is the use of music from one central point, but it can be heard in various places at the same time. And this is common in shopping malls. There is what we call webcasting. This is broadcasting that is done on websites on the internet. Streaming. This is just the playing of music or tracks online.